Hi everyone. Salesforce development day 8. Let's see what are we going to learn today. We'll quickly go through the previous session overview and then we'll talk today about the Apex Detail Visualforce page. How to use the Apex Detail Visualforce tag and what are the attributes are available inside the Apex Detail. Decode any Visualforce tag and how to capture the details on the Visualforce page, user details on the Visualforce page, and Apex Image Visualforce tag. What is the Apex Image Visualforce tag? How to use the Apex Image Visualforce tag, and what are the attributes within the Apex Image attribute? And then we will talk about the Apex Tab Panel Visualforce tag and Apex Images attribute, Apex Tab Panel, Apex Tab Visualforce tag and the attributes. Then finally we'll have a quiz, assignment, and the interview questions. So quickly, what did we learn in the last session? What did we learn in the last session?
Entity.
Object field information, open options, developer control open option, right? Enable dev mode in Lightning and Classic, Apex Param, output text, right? Right. So those are the things we have seen in the last session. Now today we will focus on the few more attributes, a few more Visualforce tag. So we have a Apex detail. So let's go ahead and see what is the next one. Next one is a Apex detail page. Apex detail Visualforce page. What is this Apex detail Visualforce page? Apex detail Visualforce page is, for example, if you switch to classic, and whatever the record that you open, for example, I am opening the account. In the account, I am opening the record. When you open the record, what it is saying that account detail information. That means detail is nothing but whatever you can see here, whatever you can see, all of them will be displayed by default. That means same whatever the Salesforce page layout is there. Whatever the Salesforce page layout is there. If you want to similar Salesforce page layout updates, if you want to display in the Visualforce page, then we use a Apex detail. We use Apex detail. So Apex detail is a self-closed Visualforce tag. It is a self-closed Visualforce tag. We use Apex detail Visualforce tag to display standard detail page for a particular object. To display standard detail page, whatever the Salesforce page is there, to display the standard Salesforce page, we use the detail page. So similar like this, complete this option. If you want, you can display that. Now there are few attributes on the Apex detail. The attributes are ID, which is we know already, this is the identifier, right? And then we have a inline editing. Inline editing is nothing but if you go to the lightning, now here also in classic, it is showing here pencil icon, right? If you want this pencil icon to be visible, then you can use the attribute called inline edit. Inline edit controls whether the component supports inline editing. And then a related list attribute is nothing but whatever this related list is there, related list, contact, opportunity, order, cases, whatever this related list is there. Do you want to display this related list on the detail? When you are using the Apex detail, Do you want to use this related list or not? So for that purpose, we use a related list. Related list is a Boolean data type, and the Boolean value that specifies the whether the related lists are included in the component. If true, the related lists are displayed. If not, specified true this value defined detailed. If you are not specifying anything, then by default it will be a true. If you are not specified anything, by default it will be a true. True means it will display the data. Next one is a subject. Subject is the basically it is providing the it's kind of a ID of the record. ID of the record that should provide the data in this component. Now, subject is nothing but you can provide, for example, you wanted to pass a certain ID to the Apex detail page. You wanted to pass certain ID. We will see with the example. Subject is nothing but where I can pass the ID to the Apex detail page. Apex detail page. Next one is the show charter. Show charter is now here on top. On top, so on top, whatever is there, right? On top, what are the updates are there? This is the chart details. This is the chart information. Now, if you wanted to see the chart information, you can see the chart information. For example, if I open any other account, now for example, I'm posting here. Hi, this is RD account. Share. Now on top, you see the charter post, what are the charting is happening related to this account. So whatever all the charting information is there on top of the account, those details can be viewed using the attribute called show charter. It is a Boolean data type. If you want to display the show charter, then you have to specify it as a true. Otherwise, it is a false. Take a notes of it. Then we will move for the implementing. Inline styling is a CSS where style you are applying it like font change, color change, right? And you wanted to make a changes to this style. Data will be same. Data will be same. For inline style is nothing but data will be same. Only you are changing the style of the content or style of the data, style of the that particular format, whatever the format is there. You are just changing the alignment or a style or a color, font, you are changing it. But if you want to change the data, then you will use the inline editing. If you want to change the data which is available inside the field, then you will use the inline editing. Clear? Okay. Done. Taken the notes.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. So take it attributes of it. Show charter is not available in Lightning. That's what I'm going to show that. So do we see the show charter above the record in Lightning? Forget about the Apex detail, but in Lightning, when I open the account, do I see the show charter above the account? So same thing will apply onto the Apex detail. Now I'll show you when it is a classic, how it is going to display. When it is Lightning, how it is going to display. Let me know once it is done. Okay, let's move on. Now, first of all, why do I use a Apex detail? So Apex detail we use it sometimes we have implemented a few Visualforce pages. Suddenly, client will say that this is not displaying the data. It will say that it is not displaying the data. For example, opportunity we have implemented, right? So there is a which is called as a opportunity, EF underscore opportunity. And they will suddenly say that, okay, stage name we could not able to see on the Visualforce page, or approval status we could not see on the Visualforce page, right? When we look at the opportunity here, the data is available in the opportunity. In the opportunity, the data is available, but on the Visualforce page, it's not available. In that scenario, for easy testing in the production, what we will do is we will create a Apex detail. Let me show you that. Let's create a new one, new Visualforce page. Now, you cannot create directly in the production. You have to create in the development org, and then you have to push it to the production. But this is the easiest way of implementing the or looking at the data whether it is displaying correctly or not. Sometimes you are on the spot, like in a 10 minutes, you have to give a updates what is happening. In that case, for easy way of testing the Visualforce page, the data, we use a Apex colon detail. Now VF underscore detail. Now let's say that I'm going to display the account details. I'm going to display the account details. So what I'll do is I'll use the Apex colon detail, Apex colon detail. Now simply I'll use Apex colon detail. Now here, which object we are displaying it? We are displaying the object called account details. We are displaying it. Right? So let's make it as this is a self-closed. I just added the Apex page, standard controller account, and inside that Apex detail. Inside that Apex colon detail. Now let me copy this ID. Preview. Now let me pass the ID here. Now what is happening? It is exactly displaying similar to the Salesforce. If you look at the URL, it's not the Salesforce URL. What it is saying here, Apex slash VF detail question mark ID equal to, here we have this. Whereas if you see normal Salesforce record, now after the my.salesforce dot immediately ID will be there. But if you see here on top, it says that page editor VF detail. Which one we are seeing it right now? We are seeing the Visualforce page. Now, if you look at this Visualforce page, it's saying like a normal account record it is displaying, right? Normal account record. What are the normal account record is there? Exactly same it is displaying it. Exactly same it is displaying. In case if you do not want the sidebar or header, then you can remove it. But rest of the things that it is displaying exactly same. Right now, is it displaying the inline editing? Now, via page is not displaying the inline editing. Inline editing, it is not displaying. I cannot edit inline editing here. Right? I cannot edit the inline editing. In order to make inline editing, then what I can do is I can create a, let's go here. Let's add the value inline editing equal to, let's say true. And let's click on a save. Now, once I made it as a true, now I can see the inline editing, right? I can edit this and I can enter the data. I can enter the data. Now click on a save. It will be redirected to the normal page, right? So now it is saved and it is updating and it is still displaying the, we are still into the page editor. We are still into the VF page. I have edited and saved it, but still it is redirected to the same Visualforce page. Now if I try to edit this, now it will go to the account record. Now it is account edit. Now, as soon as I say here, I have updated some data here, click on a save. Now, once it is done, then it is redirecting back to the Visualforce page. It is redirecting back to the Visualforce page. So, this is the Visualforce page. Right. So, right now on the top, I do not see the show charter information. I cannot see here. Whereas normal, it has a show charter information like a hide details, right? Post file, new task, more, up, April, badge, everything it is there. But am I able to see on the Visualforce page? I cannot see those information on top. In case if you want to see those information, what you can do is a show charter. You can use the show charter equal to true. It's a normal Visualforce page. Now, let me refresh this. How do you click on a developer console? Now, the one which we have implemented right now, open resource, which is called as a VF underscore detail. Now, this is the one. I clicked on the preview. When I clicked on the preview, is it displaying any data here? It's not displaying any data. Why it is not displaying any data? Because it doesn't know which record it should be processed. So what I have done is I copied the ID here. I copied the ID and go to the Visualforce page after the question mark. After the question mark, ID equal to, I just pasted the 18-digit ID. Once I pasted the 18-digit ID, once I pasted the 18-digit ID, then it will display the account details. It is displaying the account details. Detail page, right? And it has a inline editing and it has a related list. It has a related list. Okay, so it has a related list. In case if you do not want the related list, in case if you do not want the related list, then what you can say here, there is a related list. Related list equal to, you can say false. Related list equal to false. When you say related list equal to false, what will happen? It will not display the related list. This is just a account detail. This is just a account detail. It is simply displaying the account detail. It is simply displaying the account detail without related list. Without related list. Now let's switch to now let me show you the show charter. Now here, in order to show the charter information, what I'll do is I'll mention here show charter equal to true. Click on save. Now it is displaying the show charter. Now this is the charter information and we are in the account detail page and the related list is not displaying it. Related list is not displaying it. Now same thing, let me switch this to the lightning. I'll switch to the lightning. Right now we are in lightning. Right, this is the ID. Now let me close this Visualforce page. Now let's refresh this one. File, open resource, VF detail, VF page, and click on review. Right, nothing is displaying yet. After question mark, I'll add the ID. And this is the ID. Now this is in lightning. Lightning, it does not even show the charter information because lightning does not have a charter details. Lightning does not have a charter details. When it does not have a charter details, whether you add a charter detail, show charter equal to true or a false, if it is a lightning view, it's not even show anything. It's not even show the details, right? So because if you go to the lightning, if you open the account, do you see show charter information on top? We cannot see the charter information. Similarly, same concept will be applied to the Visualforce page. In case if it is a lightning, if you have switched to the lightning view, when we switch to the lightning view, the VF page is also displays into the lightning view. When it is displaying in the lightning view, the show charter equal to true. If you give the show charter equal to true also, it will not help you. It is not going to show you the show charter information. Because in the lightning, we do not have that concept. We do not have that concept. Now what I'll do is, in order to differentiate, let me add few more details here. Now what I'll do here, let me add inside the page block, apex colon, page block, title equal to, let's say this is account, and within the page block, apex colon page block, within this, I'm going to add a page block section, apex colon, page block section. Now for this page block section, let's add the title equal to account details. Account details. Click on save. Now it has a details here. Let me remove the show chatter. Click on save. Now it has a page block, and within that we have a page block section which is the account details. Right, this is the account details. If I close it, all the data gets closed. All the data gets closed. If I open it, the data can be viewed here. The data can be viewed. Now, this is completely an account details page. Now it is displaying in, all the details will be displayed here. Now if I say here column equal to 1, click on save, it's a columns. Now here in case if there is any error on top, it will display here. While writing the code, if there is any error, it will display on top. It says that unsupported attribute column in apex page block. Now it should be columns. Now it is in the one column. It is in the one column. By default, page block section is, by default columns is 2. But if you want to display in the 2 columns, in the 1 column or 3 columns, then you have to specify. But by default, it is a 2 column structure. Now it is displaying as a account details, and that's it. Related list, we have mentioned it as a false. Related list, we have mentioned it as false. Now, how many detailed Visualforce tags can I add it into the single Visualforce page? Now, if I am referring here single object, if I am here referring here single object, that means definitely only related to that object I can show the detail page. But let's assume that I have a here owner details. I have a owner details, and this owner details I wanted to show in the same page. That means bottom of this there should be a owner details. Bottom of this there should be a owner details. That means if I click on this user, right, this is a specifically owner details. Where is the owner details? Owner details on the account level. If I click on this, it will take me to the that particular user, and it will give me the details of that user. It will give me the details of the user. Now here details of the user. Now this is the details of the user. Now here I wanted to show the account detail. At the bottom I wanted to show the owner details. What are the owner details is there? Now if you go to the account, in the account level there is a option, there is a field called account owner. There is a field called account owner. Basically this is the owner details. If you click on this owner, it will take you to the user detail. So on this account, whoever is the owner is there, that owner details also I want to display in the same page. Whoever is the owner is there for this account, whoever is the owner is there, owner details also I wanted to display in the same page. I wanted to display the owner details in the same page. Now here, click on this. Now this is what this is. I'm displaying the account details. I'm displaying the account details. Account details. Below the account details, I wanted to display the account owner details. Account owner details. Whoever is the owner is there, I wanted to display that person details also. Now let's go to the Visualforce page here. Now this is the Visualforce page. Now it says account details, inline editing is a true, related list equal to false. This is what it is talking about, the account details. Now similarly, I wanted to go for a user details. Similarly, I wanted to go for a user details. So what I'll do here is I'll add another apex page block. I'll add another apex page block section. I'll add another page block section, and here I'll say here title equal to account owner details. Account owner details. Right inside this, I wanted to display the detailed information of the owner. Apex colon detail. Apex colon detail. Let's say related list equal to false. But how can I pass the ID? I need to pass this owner ID to this detail section. On top level, I cannot put here account comma user. I cannot add account comma user. I cannot add it. I cannot add the account comma user. If I add account comma user, immediately system will throw an error saying that account comma user does not exist. So either I can add a user details or I can add a account details. Now how can I pass the owner details to this page? Now in order to pass that, we have something called subject. Subject. Using the subject, I can pass curly braces exclamation account dot. In the account level, I have a field called owner ID. I have a field called owner ID. Now click on save. And let's refresh this. Now this is on top account details and at the bottom owner details. On top account details, at the bottom owner details. Now here these are the account details, and if I scroll down, it is a user details. It is user detail. By default, what are the user details are there? All the user details, I got it. That means subject is the one, if in case if you wanted to pass the related object details. That means if there is a relation, between the two objects. Now user and account has a relation. Whenever you have a relation, only those records you can populate it here. In case there is a no relation, I do not have it, I'm at the account, which is a parent contact. Now I wanted to display the position details. Can I display here position details? But there is nowhere the link is not there. Where there is nowhere the link is not there. I cannot display the position details. I cannot display the position details. And can I display the contact details because there is a relationship? Now remember that you have to add here child on top, you have to add a child. If you have a child on top, then you can refer the parent. For example, on top you have a contact. You have a contact. Now you are displaying the contact details here. Contact details. Now contact is looking for account details. So that means here I am going to show contact account details. Contact account details, and then I can specify here contact dot account ID. Contact dot account ID. Right? If you have a contact dot account ID, then it will display the here it will display the contact information, bottom it will display the account details. Now let me give you the contact details here. Let's go to this. I'm going to take this contact ID. Click on refresh. Now this ID is incorrect, so I'll pass the correct ID here, which is a contact. Now once I pass the contact details, on top it is displaying the contact information, and below it is displaying the contact account information. Contact account information. Right? So on top it is a contact details. That means you need to have a relation here. Between the two objects, you need to have a relation. That too on the top level in the Visualforce page, standard controller equal to, you have to specify the child object name. Then you can display the parent object details at the bottom. Parent object details you can display on the bottom. Now, in case if you want to display the contact details here and account details here, both side by side we wanted to display. Then simply update here, take this Apex detail page and just mention here on top. And let's remove this column equal to 1. Add it at the bottom, click on save. I just took out this detail page and I pasted onto the page block section. I pasted on the above detail section. Now let's refresh here. Now it is displaying the contact details here, account details are here. Contact details are here, account details are here, and below also we are displaying the account details. Right? So till this point, it's a contact details. And here it is account details. In the same page, block section, I'm displaying the contact details and related account details is here. Related account details is here. Now here I have a user. Now can I display the user details here? Can I display the user details here? Now let's go ahead and see. Now let me copy this. Account dot owner ID. Account dot owner ID. Click on save. Now let's refresh. Now contact, account, and then user details. Now let me put a columns equal to columns equal to 3. Columns equal to 3. Divide that into the 3 columns. Let's click on save. Now let's click on save. Refresh. Now here it is. Contact details, account details, and the user details. Contact, account, and user details. Clear? Any questions on the detail? Apex colon detail. I have divided the page into the 3 columns. This is the first column, and this is the second column, this is the third column. In the first column, what I have used it, I have used the Apex detail, and this Apex detail is, now here I have used the Apex detail. Just I have used the Apex detail and the related list equal to false. I simply use the Apex detail and then related list equal to false in order to display this record. In order to display this record, I have simply used this. I have simply used now here on top level, we are referring the contact. On the top level, we are referring the contact here. Contact, and the first one is going to display the Apex detail related list. This is one column. And then another column, I'm displaying the Apex colon detail, Apex colon detail. And here I have passed the subject equal to whatever the contact is there. On top level, we have a contact dot account ID, contact dot account ID, and then related list equal to false. Related list equal to false. Now here what I have used it, I have used the Apex detail subject, right? Apex detail subject contact account ID related list. to display the account details. This is for this one. Similarly, here what I have used is I have used the apex colon detail. It should be detail, not the details. Detail subject. Subject is within this curly braces exclamation contact dot account dot owner ID. Account dot owner ID. And then I'll specify the related list equal to false. Related list equal to false. Here owner details is nothing but user details. Right? Those are the three sections. Right, so this is the by default page block section is divided into the two. Now if I wanted to display the details in the each column, one data I wanted to display. Then in that case, this is the first column, this is the second column, this is the third column. So Dinesh, for I'm not doing the subdivision here. I'm not doing the subdivision. By default, if you do not specify the columns, by default it will be the two columns. But if you specify the columns, it will go for that column as per the column. But if you do not specify the columns there in the page block section, then it is by default is going to take it as a two. Now, for example, if I do not specify in the developer console, now let's say here, if I do not specify, now for example, if I do not specify the columns here, what will happen? By default, it will take two. Now, if I specify the columns, then it will take it as a one. So that means when developer do not specify anything here, when developer do not specify anything here, then it is a two. System will consider, Salesforce will consider as a two. But if developer has specified, Salesforce simply follow the developer, whatever is mentioned by the developer. Otherwise, if developer is not specified here, then Salesforce will follow their declaration. Their declaration is a two column. Clear? So with the same object, we can fetch the info in the page block. If we want to import the two different objects info, how can we do it? What is that? So within the same object, we can fetch the info in the page block, right? If we want to import the two different object info, if you want to, if there is a no relation at all, like a contact is a one object, right? And I have a product, another object. I do not have any relation between these two. I do not have any relation between these two. Now, if I specify here product, it basically it will throw an error. If you have a relation between the two objects, then only you can implement. In case if you want to implement product and contact within the same object, then you have to go for a customization. Then you have to go for a customization. Customization is nothing but you need to implement a Apex. You need to implement a Apex. Is that clear? Right. Contact.owner ID is also works. But here what we are doing it, because in the contact level, if you have at the contact level, if there is a owner, contact owner, Now, if you have a relationship here, owner, then it works. Contact dot owner ID. Contact dot account ID is also work. Contact dot account dot owner ID is also work. Right? Contact dot report. There is a report. Report is also lookup reports too. Right? This is another contact details. Now, if you want to display the two contact information, you can display. Wherever you have a lookup relationship, wherever you have a lookup relationship. So this is the lookup relationship. This is the lookup relationship. Right? Wherever you have a lookup relationship, those details you can bring it. Like a created, okay, not created by date, but usually owner, account name, reports to, these are the details you can show into the page. That's a different concept. I am showing you the detail that is altogether different. I wanted to display the single account and related contact. For example, if I go to the account, now in this account, what are the contacts are there? I wanted to display the contact. That means on top, I wanted to display the account. Below all the related contact, I wanted to display. That is totally a different concept. Now we are talking about the Apex detail page. Apex detail Visualforce page is just a display similar to the whatever the standard page is there. What is the standard page? Standard page is here it is a contact. What are the standard page of the contact is there? It will just display the same thing. But in case if you want to display the related information is also contact and then contact is looking at what? Contact is looking at account, which is that nothing but lookup is account. Now contact is looking for an account, contact also looking for a self contact, another contact is also looking for the owner. Now what are the lookup relationship or a master detail relationship which is having it? If this is a child object, if this is a child object, contact is a child object. Now all the parent details you can display it here. All the parent details you can display. Now, passing the parent and displaying the child details, that is a different concept. We will come to this later. No, if you are doing it, contact product. So you are going to create where are you going to create a relationship? On the product, you are going to create a lookup relationship, or on the account, you are going to create a lookup relationship. Where are you going to create a lookup relationship? On the account. If it is on the account, if it is looking for the product, then yes. But ideally, account should not be looking up any other project, which is a wrong concept at all, which is a wrong concept. If you are doing on the account level for looking at the product, you can definitely display here. If you have a account on the standard controller, product details you can display. Clear? Any other questions? Take the assignment. Assignment is implement Visualforce page. To display detail information of opportunity and account details, opportunity account details, account owner details, and opportunity owner details. Opportunity owner details. You have to display the opportunity detail page where the related list is No related list here. No related list. And account details, account owner details, opportunity owner details. Now here if you go to the opportunity, in the opportunity, go to the opportunity detail view. You should display this opportunity detail view and opportunity owner details, opportunity account details, and account owner details as well. Account owner details. What are the opportunity account owner is there? That details also you have to display. So that's the homework. Take a notes of it. Completed. Okay. Now let's move on. Now you log into any page. Now here, if you click on it, it should have an inline editing, right? Detail page should have an inline editing. Let me give you one more. Implement a Visualforce page to display contact details, contact detail information with inline editing and related list and show related list information as well as the contact owner details. Contact owner details including inline editing. Including inline editing. Take a notes of it. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now here, if you click on the edit button, what will happen? It will take you to the normal page. Whatever the lightning page is there, it will take you to the lightning page. And then you can update the details. For example, I wanted to update, let's say, I wanted to update the title. Title is developer. Click on save. And now it will take back to the normal home page. It should work as it is. But if I click on this, now if I click on the inline editing should be a normal page. And let me keep the contact details. And equal to 18-digit ID of the contact details. Now in case if I specify here inline editing, now I'll click on this inline editing. Let's say department. IT. Now click on save. Now it is saving it in the same Visualforce page. This is the same thing should happen for the assignment also. Now, whenever you go to the any site or any page, right? For example, you have a credentials, whether it is a bank, you are logging into the bank, or you are logging into the some social network pages like a social pages like a Facebook, Instagram. What will happen? It is going to show you the who is the user has logged in, who is the user is logged in. It will give you the information, user information it will give you. Similarly, in the Visualforce page also, if you wanted to know that whoever is having the credentials of Salesforce, and if anybody is logging into this page, anybody is viewing at this page, I wanted to display the, on top, I wanted to display the user information, right? So the person is having the Salesforce credentials and he has clicked on the person has clicked on the preview. When the person is clicked on the preview, as soon as whenever viewing the preview details, he should see which user, as a which user this person is viewing the Visualforce page. As a which user the person is viewing the Visualforce page. Now, how can we add it? In order to add that information, we have a few we have a something called as a user. User details we wanted to display. If I wanted to display the user details in front of this, I need to use the global, which is nothing but a dollar. Dollar is basically use the global variable to reference the general information about the current user and organization on the page. Whenever you wanted to display the current user, organization details, profile details, like a user profile or anything global objects are there. Global objects are user is a one of the global object, profile is a one of the global object, and organization is a one of the global object, and static resource is a one of the global object, right? So far the global objects are, so far whatever we have seen the global object. In case if you wanted to use the static resource, then you have to use the symbol, global resource symbol. So for that, global static, and similarly, if you want to display the user details, global user. Similarly, if you want to display the profile details, global profile, that particular user global profile, and then you wanted to display the organization details, then you can display the using the global organization. These are the couple of objects by using the global. When I say global, which is nothing but before the static resource or a user or a profile, or an organization. Before that, I need to use the dollar. Before that, I need to use the dollar resource, dollar user, dollar profile, dollar organization. That means those are the global objects. Similarly, here we use a global variable to reference the general information about the user or organization on the page. Now, global variables must be referenced using the Visualforce expression syntax evaluated. Now that means how it is going to evaluate. Now example, we have a user profile, organization, static resource. Now if I wanted to get the user first name, then what I'll do, curly braces, exclamation dollar, user first name. Or else I wanted to know the profile name, curly braces, exclamation, dollar, profile name. If I want the organization details, curly braces, exclamation, dollar organization name. Now, in case if I want the static resource, then I'll use the dollar resource, right? So if you want to refer any global objects or global variable, then we have to start with a dollar. After the curly braces exclamation, we have to start with dollar. Dollar and specify the object and then specify the field. Specify the field. Now take a notes of it, then we will see the example.
Can we also use custom metadata and custom labels with this dollar sign?
Dollar sign, I don't think so because those are the, let's see how can we refer whenever it comes to the custom metadata or custom label, custom setting, they will see that. I think few members does not know custom metadata, custom settings. Custom label, yes, custom label, you have to refer the dollar.
Okay.
Done? Okay. So let's see. Now here, this is the page. This is normally, I can see the page, but I don't know as a which user I'm viewing this page. I don't know as a which user I'm viewing this page. It doesn't give me any clarity here. So what I'll do is in the same page, I'll add the details about the person. Now, how can we add the details about the person? Let's say that I'll say normal, the user first name I wanted to display. Now here I wanted to display the, let's say curly braces exclamation dollar user dot first name user dollar user dot first name. $user dot first name. Now let's save this. Now here it is displaying on top. Username is April. Username is April. It is displaying it. It is displaying the username. Now instead of displaying it here, what I can do is I can display it on the title. Instead of displaying the contact, I'll display the user first name here. Now let's click on see here. It is displaying the April. Now who is this April? April is the person who has logged in. April is the person who has logged in. That is the person name. Now, for example, you wanted to display this organization also. You wanted to display the organization details, organization name you wanted to display. Now in that case, let's say here, let me put here organization name. Organization name is, let's say, curly braces exclamation, dollar, organization, dot name, hyphen, I'll say username. This is username. Now click on save. Now here it is displaying the organization name is Samskar IT. Organization name is Samskar IT and then hyphen username is April. If you want to display the both first name and last name, then give a space and then display curly brace exclamation dollar user dot last name. User dot last name. Let's save it.
Ma'am, why we are not able to see the suggestions there? Like we see the suggestions for attributes and epic tags.
Here,
Yes.
because it's a title. Title is a normal text. We are not,
Okay, but
we
then
are
if
not adding the
dollar
attribute.
is
I'm not adding the attribute here. I'm adding the text.
okay.
If you are adding the attribute, then you can see the suggestions here. But I'm just adding the text here. Right, so here, curly braces exclamation dollar organization dot name, and then I'm displaying the username, which is a username. Similarly, if you want to display the, let's assume you wanted to display the profile also. You wanted to display the profile. Now let me do one thing. Let me add here. Now it says here page block, the length is only up to the detail. Now let's see here. Now this is the header to length and this is the TD and the row is completely is available. Now in this row, it is just displaying the first one. Let me specify here. Now what I need here is a column. Equal to 1, let's say. Now columns is not there. Columns is not there. It is length of this page block is only up to this. Length of the page block is only up to this. Right? Now if you want to increase it, which is not available, columns is also not taken here. And we do not have any other. Title is there, tab style, right? Mode, language, help, URL, help title is there, but it is not displaying the information here, which we cannot extend. So that is totally fine. But in case if you wanted to extend this one, then you might have to Padding, vertical alignment, color, font size, width. No, width has to be removed. Width has to be specified like 100%. Now, if I specify the width equal to 100%, then if I override the width, that means I need to add a CSS. That means I need to add a CSS, the style I need to add it. If I add a CSS, then it will display everything on single line. By default, it will be divided into the single. Now div you can add it, but div is going to be the on top level. Div is going to be the on top level. But if you wanted to add it into the page block, within the page block only I wanted to add. In case if you wanted to add it within the page block, the page block width is only 30%. Now if you want to increase this, then you have to add the style width equal to 100%. Now other way is also there. You can add a simply div here. Within the div, you can add the complete text. Within the div, you can add the complete text. Right now, only here we are displaying the organization name and the username. Now I can see that whoever is logged in, I just wanted to see the username and the organization name. Or else I just wanted to see the only the username. Then you can remove this particular one. Okay. And after that, in case if you wanted to see the profile details, in case if you wanted to see the profile details also, hyphen profile details. Profile details are, in order to show the profile details, let's say here in the curly braces, exclamation dollar profile dot name. Profile dot name. Now let's click on it, save. Now it is displaying the Now it is displaying the organization name, Samskar ID, username, April batch, profile details are system admin. Profile details are system admin. And all the informations are displayed in it. Clear? Any questions? And if you want to place it in the right alignment, then use the div. Use the div and you can display line by line. So that means within the div or above the div, just above the page block, just add a div here. Let's say here, page block section, column 3. Now within this, I need to modify that. No, I'll not modify this, I'll create a new one. File, new, Visualforce page, ref underscore. Let's say this is about the user details. User details. Now click on save. Ref new Visualforce page, ref underscore. Okay. Now how can we display the right alignment? How can I display the right alignment? What should
Left,
I do?
right.
We have already done the practical in the first session or second session, which we have already done it. I wanted to display the data in right.
Float,
Sorry,
float,
flow. Where should I need to add flow? which we have already done it in the right alignment. I have already gave the example. Let me show you that. Now you guys remember that in the, let me show you in the paint. Now this is the Visualforce page. In this Visualforce page, we were displaying some order here. In the right side, we were displaying the order. Now this is a Salesforce, right? Lightning, Aura. Now how we are displaying this information? Right side, we have to display the information. For example, I have it. Let's simply add those details. Now, this is the organization name and then username. And then I have a profile. Let's click on save, click on preview. What is happening? This is displaying it this side, but I want in the right side. How can I do it in the right side? It is displaying in the left side, but I want it to display in the right side. What is the CSS keyword which we need to use it?
Style.
What
Float.
is the style?
Right. Text align.
Text align.
Right. Right.
Right? Right. Text align equal to right. Now here I can display the information. Float equal to right. Perfect. Now when I'm doing the right alignment, if you see here the order is not right. One is starting from here, another one is starting from here, another one is starting from here. How can I make it everything start from here? The starting of the text is something is starting here, something is starting here, something is starting here. I wanted to make it as a fixed width. I wanted to make it as a fixed width. Now if I wanted to make it as a fixed width, now how can I display?
Width attribute.
OL or UL?
UL.
Insert this and make it as a bullet point. Now if it is a LI, then I'm going to display here. Similarly, the username. Similarly, I'm going to paste it as a profile details. Let's put the organization details at the bottom. Let's see. Now let's save this and click on refresh. Username, profile, organization. What happened to text align? I am not given the text align. Where should I need to give a text align? Should I need to give it at the UL or div?
div,
Style equal to text align. Right.
A missing.
Sorry.
ALI, A missing. Text align, in text align, A is missing.
Now let's refresh. What is happening? Where is the dots and where is the text? So where should we put the text align?
UL,
Now what is happening? Right. So float is the right word. Text align is what is happening here. Text align is text is going to move to the right. But we are not saying it the bullet point, what are the bullet points are there. We are not saying them the bullet point also go to the right. Are we saying it? I'm just saying the text align right. I'm just saying the text align right. But in my data, in my page, I have a bullet points also. Where should bullet point should display? So whatever the data along with the bullet point, if I wanted to shift it to the right side, then it has to be a flow. If you want only text to be displayed at the right, if you want only text to be displayed at the right, then you have to use the text align. But along with the text, there are some more keywords, or there some more orders, or you have used 1, 2, 3, or some dots, some numbers, something is there. Those data also I wanted to move it to right. And in that case, we'll go for float. And what will happen? Float equal to right. Now it is displaying it. Float and text align. What is the difference between the float and text align? Is text align is just a text will be moved. It will not move any other data. It will not move any other data. That means if you have a bullet points or anything is there, only text will be moved. If you want along with the text, whatever the data or what are the special characters, what are the numbers are there, those also need to be shifted to the right. In that case, what we will use the float. In that case, we will use the float. If you use the float, everything from here, everything shifted to the right. Right? So that's the difference there. So text align, use it when you do not have any data here. Here you do not have ULLI, or you do not have a 1, 2, 3, or you do not have a table, or you do not have anything. In that case, what you wanted to use is just use it. If you want just move the text to right, you definitely go for a text align equal to right. But along with the text, you wanted to move the table, right, bullet points, number, special character, whatever is there. Now, if you want to move that information is also, then in that case, you use the float equal to right. Even buttons also. If you want the button to be also moved to the right, then in that case, only float will work. It's up to you. It's not required actually. It is up to you. There is no difference whether you add it here or not. Because LI is already dividing into the line by line. So break is not required. Break is not required, but if you add it also, there is no harm there. Fine. So that's about the capturing the user details on the page. Capturing the user details on the page. Now let's move on to the next one. Next one is if you look at the classic view. If you look at the classic view, or for example, before going to the classic view, for example, I wanted to add an image here. Now here it is displaying the user details. Similarly, I wanted to add an image this side. I wanted to add image. In order to add an image, what we can do, either I can directly take the image URL. Let's go and see Salesforce URL. Let's get the Salesforce URL here. Google Salesforce logo. Now let's go to the images. Now let's open this. Open, copy, open image in the new tab. Right. So I have this image, cloud image is there, right? I wanted to place this cloud image on the Visualforce page. On the Visualforce page, I wanted to place here the image. Now, in case if I wanted to place that image on the Visualforce page, then we have to use a new tag which is called as a apex colon image. Apex colon image. So apex colon image is a self-closed Visualforce tag, and we use this apex colon image to display the images on the Visualforce page. Right? What is the syntax? Syntax, we have a apex colon image. Then if you have a URL, you can directly pass the URL here. You can directly pass the URL. If you do not have a URL, okay, inside the Salesforce only there is some value is there. From that you wanted to display the file. In that case, instead of URL, you have to use the value. We will see both the examples with the URL and value. Now there are a few more attributes in the Apex page. ID, we know that URL is nothing but you need to pass the whatever the image URL is there, that image URL you need to pass it. And the value is in case if you want, in case if you want to pass the object, right? The object is like there is a file within the Salesforce, and that file you wanted to put it into the value. File we can upload into the static resource. File we can upload into the static resource. So that static resource, if you want to refer that image into the apex colon image, in that case, what you can do is value equal to, you can refer the static resource file image, and height, width, you can adjust it. Alt is nothing but a alternate text. Or if you hover on the text, it will display the some alternate text. Title, if you want to display any tooltip or anything, mouse point over, then you can display it. So these are the attributes. Now let's go ahead and see the Apex image. Now what I'll do is, below itself, I'm going to add an image. I'm going to add the image. Now I can do it directly. I can give the image here. Let's say, let me add it after the div. Apex colon image. Apex colon image. I'm directly adding the URL equal to whatever the URL that I have copied. I just copied that. Now I'll close this. It is a self-closed Visualforce tag. It is a self-closed Visualforce tag. Now it is displaying here. Now it is height width is too much. Height width is, it is displaying the normal height width. Now how can I reduce that? Now let's keep it as a height. Let's say 150 pixel. Right, height is, if I keep it 150 pixel, it is working perfectly fine. It is working perfectly fine. Or if you can reduce it, you can reduce it. Let's go with the 100 pixel. Let's go with 100 pixels. So what I can do is at the image, Here I can add height. Height equal to 100 pixel. Click on save. Now refresh. Now it is displaying the 100 pixel. Right? So both are at the same line. Now here it is starting here and this also starting here. At this side it is showing the image, this side it is showing the user details. This side it is showing the user details. Now this is directly I am referring the URL. This is directly I am referring the whatever the Google site, Google URL is there, that's the same URL I am referring it. That's the same URL I am referring. In case if I wanted to refer the static resource. In case if I wanted to refer the static resource. Now let's go to the static resource. Let's click on a setup. Now here I'll add the static resource. Static resource. Click on the static resource. Now this time I'm going to upload an image. Click on a new. Let's say Swapna IT logo. Swapna IT logo. Click on a choose file. When we click on a choose file, now let me see what I have here. Now I'll take this, whatever the Swapna Salesforce logo is there, I'll take that. And it has to be a public. Click on save. Once I click on a save, the record static resource record is created. Now here it says that image PNG. Image PNG. If I click on a view file, file is a Swapna IT Salesforce. And here the size is some 3,70,346 bytes. Right, that is totally fine because each file needs to be up maximum is 5 MB. So this is totally fine. Now what I can do is I can copy this name of the static resource. Let's go to the Salesforce and here I'm going to display the apex colon image and then value equal to, I'm not using the URL, I'm using the value because I'm going to refer the file that is exist within the Salesforce. File that is exist within the Salesforce. So I'll say curly braces exclamation dollar resource dot whatever the Swapna IT is there. Now let's see how it is displaying it. Let's keep it as a height as 100 pixel. Let's say it is saving the record. It is displaying the URL one, whatever the URL one is there, it is displaying the URL one. Similarly, it is displaying the logo which we have taken from the static resource, it is displaying that logo. It is displaying the logo. Right, so both the way you can do it. You can directly copy from Google or else you can take it from the static resource. Or else you can take it from the static resource. So Apex image tag is used to display the images on the Visualforce page. To display the images on the Visualforce page. Clear? So take a notes of it, Apex image. Yes, we can use within the page block section, right? Help URL. You can use the URL of the Google URL, right? Like a question mark. Question mark is an image. You can place a question mark in the help URL. we can use it. We will see going further because there is one more requirement. Whenever we are implementing that requirement, we will also use the Apex image there. Okay, dollar resource value. So basically what I'm doing is here, the first step is which I have done is static resource, right? Static resource. Static resource. In the static resource, what we have done, we have uploaded an image. This is the first step. This is the step 1. Now, once this step 1 is done, now the step 2 is I need to refer the static resource into the Visualforce page. I need to refer this into the static Visualforce page. So in the Visualforce page, what I have used is Apex image. No, there are 2 attributes here. One is a URL, one is a value. One is a URL, one is a value. URL is only when I have a URL, I can directly refer the URL. Value is if I have a image within the Salesforce, then what I can do is I can use the value equal to, I can refer the curly braces, exclamation, dollar resource dot, what I can say, what are the name of the static resources there. For example, name of the static resource is Swapna ID. If you want to refer from the static resource to the image, then we have to use the value. If you want to refer the URL directly here, you can use the URL. Clear? Okay. Now, everybody taking the notes? Watermark we will see later. I don't know. I need to try that watermark. Okay, so watermark you can do it, but directly you do not have any Visualforce page attributes. You do not have directly any Visualforce attributes in order to do the watermark. What you need to do is you need to apply the CSS. So directly there is nothing is called as here watermark. But what you can do is you can put a CSS styling you can apply. Using the HTML CSS, you can do that. Yes, SVG and CSS, whatever is there, everything can be accepted. Right, now shall we move on? Now the next take a notes of this attribute, image attribute. Taking the notes. Okay. Now for this, let's try this. Click on inspect and let me add the. Let's copy this image, the URL, copy this, and let's inspect this. Let's say here, background, image, let's try this background one. Let's click on save, click on file, new, text class, vf underscore background. Click on OK. Oh, this is the text class. File, new, Visualforce page, vf underscore background image. Click on OK. Right. Now here what I'll do is I'll implement, I'll go with normal HTML tags. Okay, so we have a HTML tag style is there. So I'll go for a style. Now within the style, let me add some class, which is a watermark. Now within this watermark, let's add background color, background image. Now the background image I'll add whatever this Patna ID is there, I'll take that. Now here I'm going to go for it, which is a URL, and this URL will be, let's say ampersand curly braces. Yesterday we have discussed about the URL for, right? So I'm going to use the URL for, and within this, I'm going to use $resource, $resource, right, $resource dot Swapna IT. Then after that, there is a curly braces, and then we have this URL for. We have the URL for. Let me save. Incorrect parameter type function, expected boolean, received a text. Okay. Let me do one thing. Let me add this apex colon, output panel. Within this panel, I'm going to add this background image or background position is a center, and URL curly braces exclamation URL for $resource. Two times I have given that is the problem. $resource dot watermark, whatever is there, that watermark image that I am adding the image there. Perfect, it is saved it. Okay, now let's see. Now this is the style. Now I'm going to use the body here. Within the body, I'll simply say class equal to watermark. Click on save. Now click on preview. Right click, inspect. Inside the header, let's see where is the Swapna ID controller. Swapna ID. Now here it is taking the URL resource. Perfect. And whatever this resource is there, dot Swapna ID. Is this the correct one? Let's copy this. Let's go to the Salesforce, static resource, click on a view. Now, whatever I have the resource name, which is resource slash 1687925142300 Swapna ID. And after that, there is a question mark. Why do we need a question mark? Perfect, it is right. Now, this is a style, and here it is the watermark. Now, why the watermark is not displaying? Let me do one thing. Now here background hyphen repeat. Let's repeat this. Let's say Okay. We take a copy of this. So this is the style here, watermark we are applying onto the body. And I have a body which is a watermark. Let's use this. Spelling wrong, position. Right, it is taking the background repeat and position is a left. Font size, background color it is taking, but the background image it is not taking. Background image. Let's take this. Right, it says here background image invalid property value. Invalid property value. Let me add it this URL double slash png double quotes. After that, let's add this. Now here is the one. Okay. So this is at the background. I don't know why it is not taken here URL. But right now I added the URL and it is coming in the background. If I do not say repeat, position is left alignment. Now let's put it as a center, right? And the font size, it is automatically taken. And the background color is white and background image is this one. Right, this is how the background image is displaying it. Now, why it is not taking the background image there? B is spelling correct background image. Let me copy this entirely. Copy. Let's go here, background image. Let's take out this. Let me try this. Put it in double quotes. Let's refresh. Output panel is not necessary. I can remove that. Yes, you can set the size and everything, whatever you can do it, everything you can modify it. So let me take out this. Now let me comment out this output panel. Let's comment. Now it is displaying now. Now on top of it, I just wanted to display the user details. Let's display here. Within the body, I'll display them. Okay. And let's refresh. Now it's a background. Now if you want to make it as a light color, dark color, or if you wanted to make it as a center or whatever you needed, you can do it. Right on top, it is displaying the image. If you want to repeat it, you can repeat it. And if you want to make it as a light or a dark, whatever you wanted, everything you can make it here. But it's directly, it is not available on the Visualforce tag attributes. Directly, it is not available on the Visualforce tag. But what you need to do is you need to use the HTML commands. You need to use the HTML commands. Using the HTML command, you can do whatever you want. All the stylings, dark, light, whatever is there, you can do everything here. Everything you can make it. Yeah, so this is how we can display it. Fine, somebody asked about the background, right? So yeah, so directly it is not possible. We have to use the CSS keyword here. Now instead of this, can I refer the static resource here? In case if you want to static resource here, then in that case, let's say background image. Right here, you need to add them instead of this hard-coded one, curly braces, exclamation, URL bar, and I'll say exclamation, curly braces, exclamation, URL bar, and then I'm going to specify within this dollar resource. What are the resource name is there? Dollar resource Swapna ID. Dollar resource Swapna ID. And let's see this. Yeah, it's displaying here at the back end. Now height, width, everything you can adjust it here, whatever you wanted height. And background height, background color, background position, everything you can do it using the background keyword. Right, this is a multiple times if you want to display it. And background size. So this is how it is going to display. So everything you can make it, whatever the requirement is there, you can adjust it, but all you need to play with is CSS. All you need to play with CSS. Okay, so if you play with the CSS, you will be able to do it. That's not an issue. Fine. So that's all for today. We will discuss tomorrow about the Apex tab panel.